Oh, no, she didn't. Look at this. It's a promo for Beyonce's new album, which she talks about her husband's rumored infidelity. In fact, even cites it in one of her songs. I don't know if this is acting your age or this is just sort of just acting, period. But Dr. Robbie Ludwig, author of Your Best Ages Right Now, might have a thing or two to say about that. Doctor, I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, well, it's a good way to get buzz. We're talking about it. It's probably
absolutely
a good way to promote an album. Again, we're talking about it. But for someone who looks at character and being, you know, you can look in the mirror. I know your book is geared to women, but I'm going beyond that. What do you make of all of this?
Well, you know, as an artist, Beyonce is using a very difficult situation to inspire her art. And many of Beyonce's admirers really connect to her because she is so honest about her thoughts and feelings. And many of her supporters can certainly identify with relationships going bad.
But is that the way to do it? Do you do it or take out your vendetta on your husband, assuming that's the case? Because a lot of people are cynically looking at this saying, hey, this is all a way to sell albums and he's on it too. I don't know.
Well, I mean, I would find it hard to believe that Beyonce and Jay-Z were not in collaboration together. They are business partners. Maybe this was a way for Jay-Z to acknowledge that he did something wrong and they move forward together. We will really never know what goes on behind closed doors, but certainly they decided to make a good business decision and use a difficult situation to move forward, hopefully.
But, you know, you write about the fact that a lot of women in particular, even though I spread this out, that it could be just as easily written to men.
It's for both. It's for both.
It's not, by the way. I read it, and it's this is all for chicks, which is fine. That's fine. But one of the things I see is that you talk about don't get frustrated with getting older or necessarily living your presumed decade, but living an exemplary life and facing the challenges of life. I'm just wondering, though, we live in an age, though, where over the top. You got to be crazy. You got to be this. You know, what do you make of that?
Well, certainly when people say yes to themselves, and I do talk about this in the book, when they live like you only have, live in the moment, people tend to be happier because when they say yes to themselves and use good judgment, they tend to create more opportunities for their life. And when it comes to regrets, people tend not to regret the decisions that they've made, even if it hasn't worked out, because they feel like,
well, you do talk
at least I move
about
on.
Marriages or pairings, and you kind of take that out on men. It's like I'm reading Lifetime, reading your book. But I mean, fine. But I'm just saying, what's your tip for people who are frustrated where they are? To quit whining or what?
Well, I think if people are frustrated, the best antidote to frustration is to take action. Figure out what you want. Find a role model, both older and younger. Use this moment to change. It is possible to change, especially in midlife, because we know ourselves better. There are a lot of positive things going on. Sometimes we just need guidance, and that's why I wrote the book. So there were positive guidance, Botox for the brain, and people can move forward in a positive and exciting way.
All right. It's
for men too, Neil. Men too.
Yeah, well, whatever. You should have thought of that. But it's a great book. It's a great read. Your Best Ages Now, which is a lie, actually, Robbie, because I wish my age wasn't what it is right now. But it is fun stuff. You do put it in perspective.
Thank you.
In your normally genteel fashion. I appreciate that.